Up in the higher part of his leg, I believe, up near the groin area.
Mick Dittman will now take the ride.
Yes, well, it was good luck on my part, bad luck on Darren's, you know. I consider him a very good rider in the Cup, so, you know, I'm lucky that I was fortunate enough to sort of secure the ride.
The horse finished second last in the 1994 Cup, prompting then-trainer Mark Johnston that he should have brought Double Trigger last year.
He's a Dow stayer. You know, he's probably trained by one of the best trainers in the land, and he's sure to be spot on race day. Oh, I think he's in with a great chance. Only got 52. He's got a winning weight. Yeah, I think he's in with a very good hope.
Lee Friedman, now training Quick Ransom, is confident of a better showing from the 8-year-old. He was placed third in the Moonee Valley Cup behind stablemate Storm.
Storm wins the Cup easily over Bullwinkle. Quick Ransom will get third.
David Taggart has the ride on Beau Art. The horse was very impressive in the Caulfield Cup.
Remus wins the Caulfield Cup a half length. 2 in second placing on the outside. Count Shivers, Beau Art third.
Saw Count Shivers coming at the Flounder. I said, well, I better get going. I'd rather it chase me than I chase it. So that's what I'd done. And I thought I had the race won at the top of the straight, but Doremus got home real good.
How much petrol was there left in the tank at the end of the Caulfield Cup?
She was still actually, she wasn't given ground on Count Shivers. She was probably actually picking him up. But Doremus's last furlong was just phenomenal. He's run home the best 400 of the race, and you look at the sectionals in the race, there wasn't much between them.
Doremus has drawn barrier 23 for Tuesday's big race. Damien Oliver was wrapped with the horse's run in the Caulfield Cup, and nothing much has changed.
Yeah, I think he's got a great chance. He's really done well since the Caulfield Cup, and Lee couldn't be any happier with him, and I wouldn't swap his ride for anything.
What sort of work has he been doing in that interim period?
He's been working mostly over 2,000 metres and striding home, and the horse's condition is just perfect. He didn't need another run in the McKinnon Stakes, and you know, I couldn't be happier with him going into the race.
Count Shivers has been working at Ballarat. His run in the Caulfield Cup, and he was ridden a treat by Rodney Griffiths, put him in second place behind Doremus. Trainer Don Selwood.
We were probably behind the 8 ball when we first come over here. We didn't winter that good over there, and the longer he's been here, the better he's sort of picked up.
Last year's winner Jearn finished fourth in yesterday's McKinnon Stakes. Former trainer David Hayes, back in town from Hong Kong, spoke on behalf of the stable.
Damien wins a McKinnon 3/4 Pataras Bay. Starstruck third and fourth is Jearn on the outside.
I just feel at this stage of his career the 2 miles is probably better for him. So we'll be doing everything in our powers to try and convince the owner to run in the Cup, and we'll be putting a strong argument for it. But the ultimate decision is Sheikh Hamdan. So, but to me it was a great Cup trial, and with the forecast of rain, Sting out of the ground, he's a different horse.
Now at Sandown, things have been a little quieter. But remember this gent from 2 weeks ago on this very programme.
Imagine if the Melbourne Cup was a truly prestigious race. They carried level weights. You'll be betting odds on Double Trigger. You're Australian.
Be that as it may. But Double Trigger has yet to prove himself south of the equator. There is no doubt he is a champion, unbeaten over 2 miles, and arguably the best stayer in the United Kingdom since Ardros in the early 80s. He'll be ridden by champion jockey Jason Weaver.
From what I've seen, he looks very well. It's obviously very difficult to say till I put him under real pressure, but I'm happy with him at the moment.
And the old fella is back. At 9 years of age, Vintage Crop returns for a crack at our richest race. At the age of 9 and with 59 kilos, you would wonder why anyone would bother to travel halfway around the world to run for 3,200 metres. But he is a marvellous horse with a big heart who gives his all. And you can't ask for more than that. And just back to Double Trigger. His rider, Jason Weaver, is philosophical about his chances in the big race. His first ever ride at Flemington will be in a Melbourne Cup.
I've travelled to many countries and ridden in Group 1 races, and whenever you go and ride in Group 1 races abroad, the horses are very, very good, no matter where you go. I don't care, you know, you have great jockeys all over the country, all over the world, you have great horses all over the world. So when you come into a Group 1, it's very difficult, but I know it's going to be hard, beat you in your own backyard, but we're going to give it a go.
Yes, he spoke very well there. Dermot, you in particular, and Mark, have taught Lee Friedman a lesson, haven't you? To go to Sandown on a Saturday morning before the Cup and take your horses.
Oh, definitely. I think one thing we've changed, Vintage Crop, has changed Lee's mind about preparation for the Melbourne Cup.
Has he, Lee?
For a few races.
Do you think Dermot, particularly, with his success, and has changed the way we've prepared our horses for the Cup in a short time?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. And I think the first year when Dermot came out, I was one of the main detractors. I didn't think, under what I'd been brought up on, that a horse could win the Melbourne Cup on that sort of preparation. Dermot proved that was possible. And I think if we can get the sort of training facilities here that we need, we can certainly train horses that way.
Mark, we were speaking or listening to Jason Weaver there. Tell us a bit more about your jockey, his ranking in England at present, and your opinion of his ability.
Yeah, he's just dropped from second place to third because he's been away since before the Breeders' Cup, and I don't think he'll be going back this year, so he'll probably finish third in the table. He finished second last year to Frankie Dettori, and that was the first year out of his apprenticeship. He came to work for us at the beginning of '94 when he'd been champion apprentice the year before, and then left again at the beginning of this year to go freelance. He's changed his mind and come back again, and we'll retain him now for the next 2.5 years.
Michael Kinane was criticised last year, Dermot, for his ride on Vintage Crop. What did you think?
It probably wasn't one of Michael's best rides, but to be fair, the horse had 14 stitches. He was not striding out as good as he should, and Michael was letting the horse warm into it. I wouldn't be as critical as a lot of people.
The work yesterday, Lee, Doremus and Quick Ransom. We were out there, we got footage of this. What did they do, and
I was
how did
very
they do
pleased
it?
with them. I actually sent them for a walk, and then they trotted round into the straight, cantered off. They went about 2,000 metres, about even time pace, and then came home the last 600.
Point out which is which for the people at home.
On the left is Doremus, and on the inner with the baldy faces, Quick Ransom with Midge Cooper on him. He's not a great worker, Quick Ransom. I thought he worked okay, but the other horse just had a fluency in his stride. He just went beautifully, Doremus.
Mark, have you seen Quick Ransom this year?
I saw him yesterday. I was there at Sandown when he was working.
What condition do you think he's in?
He looked absolutely magnificent to me. Obviously, he was a horse that was difficult to prepare last year. He looked like a teddy bear more than a racehorse when he went to run in the Melbourne Cup last year. He's got a lovely coat on him now. You've got to think he must be better off now.
I don't envy the job that Mark had last year, because I know when the horse came to us, he had grown his English winter coat in the middle of the spring here. You can't train horses when they do that.
Friday, Mark, you had... was it a serious gallop with Double Trigger? Was his fastest gallop, was it?
Yeah, it was his fastest gallop since he's been here. I don't think you should get carried away with thinking this is the way we train horses at home. He worked over about 1,000 metres. He wouldn't work over anything short of 1,400 metres at home, and then it would be up a mountainside, not on a flat track like this. So really, it's just trial and error. We're trying to do enough to be sure the horse is fit without adding to what they must have suffered in the plane journey.
Dermot, Michael Kinane, I read it in the London Times after the Ascot Gold Cup, where he said he felt Double Trigger's best was actually better than Vintage Crop's best. He said, my bloke might be just over the top now anyway, but he said, I don't know if we could have beaten this fellow even when we were at our top. Do you think Double Trigger is as classy as Vintage Crop? And
Double Trigger's a very, very high-class horse, and certainly in the Gold Cup he was unbeatable. It was a fabulous performance by a 4-year-old.
Does it worry you at all, Mark, the Paris experience? I mean, from our point of view, that's the one blot. I think he probably would have been 2 points shorter tomorrow, on Tuesday, if he did not run in Paris.
Absolutely. It's the big blot. We'd probably have come here full of confidence had he won in Paris. We were beginning to think there that nothing could beat us. Maybe that's just been a good thing. It's brought us back down to earth. At least we can relax a bit now, coming off a defeat.
It was after that there was some indecision on the trip, Mark. Did finances come into it? Can I ask, if I'm not prying, the ballpark figure of the cost of this adventure?
The fare itself, the actual plane fare just for the horse, was £22,000, or about $44,000. We were originally looking at spending double that on the fare because we were going to bring another one of our own horses.
Double Blue, the sprinter?
Yeah, we were going to bring Double Blue. Finances came into it a lot. You know, the whole trip is probably costing, certainly £30,000 plus. In fact, more than that, probably nearer £40,000.
Near 80,000 Australian dollars.
Near 80,000 Australian dollars.
You're waxing with Dermot?
We...
Waxing sharing. Yeah. Sharing costs?
Yeah, well, that's exactly that. Probably helped swing it. We met Dermot at the sales a few days after the Prix de Cadran. We were very hesitant then, and he said, well, you know, if we went, he would probably go, and vice versa. And that's what it came to, that we split the costs of the plane fare.
And the spoils?
That's helped a lot.
We're not telling you the deal.
Mark, how determined was Dermot to bring Vintage Crop this year?
How would I know? Ask him.
Dermot, this was Vintage Crop yesterday morning. Yeah. Dermot, we didn't think we'd see you back again with this horse after last year. We're just thrilled a bit you are.
Thank you. Well, he had quite a good year. You know, he put up some excellent performances. He won a good cup race for us at the Curragh, and we decided he was entitled to one last shot at the race.
Dermot, I believe he's had back problems, always had back problems. How's his back been this week?
Well, he's had his physiotherapy here as usual, and it's no better and no worse, and he's striding out very nicely, and I think he's going to give a good account of himself.
And beyond the cap, Dermot, I mean, how long will he keep racing? I think he's had only 27 starts.
Yeah, we would hope there's one more year in him.
Would you ever jump him, Dermot? I mean, you've had some great jumpers.
Yeah, it's a possibility. We'll think about it. I've never been keen to do it, to be quite honest. His owner, Dr. Smurford, would like it, but I'm not that keen.
Cup hurdle next year, Dermot.
I doubt it.
There's a lot of money to come for the cup hurdle, 80,000. Just look, we've only got about a minute left. Can we just quickly get a tip, Keith?
I can't believe I'm about to say this. It was a month ago I said to the connections of Count Shivers, you've got to go home. Now I'm going to tip you to win the cup.
Max?
Each way again. Storm?
Lee, could you give us what you think about yours?
I like Doremus. I think my dangers are Count Shivers, Vintage Crop, and if it's really wet, Fewer Chosen. I'm not tipping Mark's horse. I just don't know enough about the horse.
Ray?
I like Count Shivers.
And pretty hard at the other end, obviously, Double Trigger and Vintage Crop. Agreed?
Yeah, hard to go against their own horse. You know, we hope if he runs up to his home form or his midsummer form that he can certainly win it. I'm surprised that everybody dismisses the 3-year-old horse. I know it's very different because this is your spring, but we did take on Double Trigger with his full brother, a 3-year-old, and came second to him. That was a great run, I thought, from the Derby winner, and I think he's thrown in at the weights. I fear him.
Dermot?
Oh, I'll stay with Vintage Crop each way, especially if the rain comes, with Doremus being the main danger.
Well, I'm going to go for Nothing Like a Dane to beat Yes Indeed. Thank you, gentlemen. Good on you. We're going to take a break. Good luck. Back to the winner. What do you always say? Dame Fortune?
Dame Fortune attend you.
Good on you, Keith. We'll take a break. Back with Kim after this.
Oh, Daddy.